Now we will see what is the definition of a chart. You would have seen teachers using charts to explain a class. It is defined as a combination of a graphical and a pictorial material designed in an orderly and a logical visualization to keep the relationship between the key facts and the ideas. There are certain principles when we use a chart. The chart should be in a size appropriate to the classroom strength. The size of the chart should be very big so that the image or the letters which are written there in the chart are clearly visible to the entire classroom. When we write in the chart, the size of the letters and the contrast of the display material should be in such a way that it is readable from a farthest viewer. That is, even the last bench student should be able to see very clearly what is written or drawn on the chart. The standard chart paper size is 90 into 60 centimeter and 70 into 55 centimeter is suitable for most of the purposes. Even sometimes the chart can be used either in a horizontal or in a vertical position depending upon the concept to be explained or the diagram to be explained. When the chart carries a picture and its names and its illustrations, it is very easy for the teacher to hide the names or the key points and ask the questions to the children and do the recapitulation very easily with the help of a chart. Now let us see what is a chart. You know, the teaching people uses many different kinds of chart to display their work. A chart is a useful way to present and display the information or an instruction, especially in a classroom situation or it may be in an educational situation. The chart size may range from a wall chart or to a single piece of paper. The use of a chart has been well defined by Edgar Daly. A chart is a visual symbol summarizing or comparing or contrasting the subject matter. You can see it gives you a visualization of what you are learning. A picture can be drawn in a chart, a definition can be written and explained to the students, and you can compare one from the other as a difference point, or you can do any other illustrations in the form of a chart work. There are various types of charts: picture chart, time chart, table chart, graphic chart, flow chart, tree chart and a pie chart. We can see here the flip chart. Most of us would have seen this flip chart. Daily we have calendars at our home which are nothing but a form of a flip charts. It displays the information of every month, the important dates, the important things, and we can easily note. You can see here a teacher is using a flip chart on the other side, and you can see some flip charts which are used as table stands. You can see where it will depict the different kinds of pictures. The various informations are given in the form of a flip chart. Flip charts. Flip charts are useful in teaching situation where you need to teach a number of people at a time. They are used when books are unavailable or very scarce and they are too expensive for the individuals to have their own copy. We can use the flip charts so that It is nothing but a collection of large pages which are bound together at the top. The best example is that in the previous picture we have seen some flip charts. The pages are flipped or brought up and to back so that they are used to motivate the children to learn and develop their curiosity to see what is the next page of the flipped chart. A flip chart is bound together at the top in such a way that the pages can be easily turned and lie flat. So it depends upon the skill and ability of the teacher or the flip chart maker to make suitable flip charts to teach the concepts in a very convenient and a very effective manner. You can see the next one is graphs. You can see any type of numerical data can be pictorially indicated using the graphs. You can see in this picture there are two types of graphs, a bar graph and a cylinder graph, and also a pie chart is shown in this picture. It is an example of the graphical aid. Graphs, they represent a flat picture which employ dots, lines or pictures to visualize the numerical or the statistical data to show the statistics or relationship. For example, if I want to indicate the number of students in a classroom and their performance in a science subject, I can use a bar graph or a pie chart so that the data of the students will be represented in a pictorial form. Okay. Graphs are by nature a summarizing device, and it is an effective tool for comparison and contrasting between the numerical or the statistical data which is available in the hands of the teacher. Any data in the form of numbers can be transformed easily into any one of the form of the graphs. There are different types of graphs available. You can see the graph which is shown here, the line graph, bar graph, circle or pie graph, a pictorial graph and a flannel graph. It depicts the numerical and the quantitative relationship which is presented in the form of a visual symbols. You can see the next graphical aid is the photographs. You can see in this picture the world's largest flower, Rafflesia. It is being picturized in this picture. Photographs are exact visual recording of the things which occur in real life situation. The photographs can be either a black or a white, and it may be a colored one. They can be mounted or unmounted to induce curiosity among the students to learn about. Whenever we use these photographs and display it in the classroom situation, the students will be more motivated to find what is the name of the flower which is shown in the figure, and they will be very much keen to see what are the things, how it looks, what is the color of the flower, what is the region where it is found. Likewise, they will be able to develop many other possible things related to this picture. The next one is posters. You can see in this poster a man is riding a bicycle. You can see the caption which is given there. You are not just burning of calories, but also protecting the earth, or you are reducing the global warming. So what is a poster? A poster is a placard which is usually displayed in a public place. It is often decorated with designs and illustrations to grab the attention of the people towards the content. The posters are simple graphic visual aids which conveys a single idea or a single subject. You remember, we are much attracted by the different kinds of posters in various environment. The various types of advertisements, cinema posters, everything attracts us, and we are made to stand for a moment and look at them and watch what is the material which is presented there. So for science teaching also, a teacher can make different kinds of posters and bring in the idea which she wants to convey to the students through the posters. I think this poster will be very useful for a teacher to teach about reducing the greenhouse impact, or how to reduce the usage of the fuels, and many other ways. Next, we will see what are the steps in making a poster. First, we have to select the topic and select what message we have to convey to the people or the students. Organize the message with minimum words. A poster should not be filled with mere words. It should be having minimum words but convey the matter like we saw in the poster picture. It should have also a caption, like position the message and the caption. You have to put the caption and the message in an appropriate place. We can try out different kinds of layout and color schemes, and finally we will select which one is more suitable or appropriate. Then we can pre-test them before we present to the students. In that way, the posters will be an effective teaching resource. Cutouts. We can see cutouts are prepared by the students or the teacher to display any image in a two-dimensional manner. We can see they can create shapes of bacteria, virus or cells or human organs and bring a cutout, and it will show a two-dimensional view of that particular object or a structure which they are learning in their classrooms. Thank you.